Welcome back to my channel. Today's story isn't just breaking the internet, it's shattering the illusion of the perfect sister-wives family. Inside a courtroom bathed in cold fluorescent light, Kody and Robyn Brown's carefully crafted TV empire begins to crumble. No TLC cameras, no cozy confessionals, just a judge, a stack of documents, and a truth that can't be edited away. For years, Kody played the struggling patriarch. The man weighed down by mortgages, bills, and the burden of love stretched too thin. We watched him sigh in those tense living room scenes, talking about financial ruin like it was a recurring guest star. But now, according to court records, that struggle was an illusion. A judge has reportedly ruled that Kody and Robyn must pay an eye-popping $3 million in back taxes, hidden assets, and property misreporting. Not for medical bills, not for mortgages, but for years of financial smoke and mirrors. And just when the courtroom thought it had seen it all, Meri Brown's name was called. The moment her deed slid across the judge's bench, the room fell silent. Attorneys leaned in. Kody's face went pale. Robyn whispered something to her lawyer, her hands trembling. Because that single deed, signed years ago and forgotten by everyone but Meri, was about to change everything. You see, while the world thought Meri had checked out, quietly running her B&B and staying out of the chaos, Flagstaff County records tell another story. She never gave up her stake in the family's mansion. On paper, she still owned a piece of it. And in the courtroom, that single technicality became a legal thunderclap. The judge leaned forward, holding the paper like a weapon. "This court cannot ignore the fact," he said, "that there is a valid deed in the name of Ms. Brown." Robyn gasped audibly. Kody dropped his gaze. What began as a tax evasion hearing had turned into a full-scale family reckoning. Bank transfers, hidden LLCs, wire transactions just days before bankruptcy filings. The evidence piled up like bricks in a collapsing wall. On TV, Kody and Robyn cried about bills. Off-camera, documents revealed hundreds of thousands moving between secret accounts fans had suspected something for years. Reddit threads, leaked records, whispers of unpaid property taxes. But no one knew it would end like this. As the judge read each exhibit aloud, the atmosphere thickened. Kody's jaw tightened. Robyn wiped her tears. When the judge mentioned Meri's foresight, even the courtroom reporters fell silent. "Miss Brown," he said, "your decision to retain this deed has far-reaching consequences for these proceedings." In that instant, Meri wasn't a background character anymore. She was the turning point. The woman everyone dismissed had become the one holding the key to the entire Brown family empire. Outside, the news exploded. $3 million court order rocks sister wives, headlines screamed. Social media lit up with debates. Was Meri a silent strategist? Or just the only one who kept her paperwork straight? Inside, the tension built to breaking point. Kody slammed his fist on the table, a rare loss of composure. Robyn sobbed beside him, her mascara streaking as the judge read out the list of alleged violations. Asset shielding. Misreported income. Failure to disclose. "This isn't about television," the judge said coldly. "This is about truth." For the first time, Kody Brown, the man who always controlled the story, couldn't talk his way out. The $3 million fine wasn't just money, it was judgment, years in the making. The once glamorous Flagstaff mansion now stood in legal limbo. And Meri, through one quiet act of foresight, had dismantled the illusion of unity that once defined the sister-wives family. As the court adjourned, Kody stared blankly at the financial exhibits scattered before him. Reality had finally caught up. What happens next? That depends on one woman and one piece of paper. Because in the ashes of the Brown family empire, Meri Brown now holds the deed, the power, and the final word. The courtroom is silent, the kind of silence that hums in your bones. Then, a single question slices through the air. Are you asking the court to accept a reality television edit as a financial disclosure? Even the stenographer cracks a smile. The illusion of TV perfection is gone. What's left is raw legal reality. And right there, in the middle of it all, stands Meri Brown. She isn't smirking. She isn't performing. She looks uneasy, because deep down, she knows her name is the key. Her single signature, once meaningless, is now the thread holding together a $3 million disaster. For the first time, the courtroom's heat turns toward her. It's not just Kody and Robyn on trial anymore, it's Meri's conscience. Which side of history will she choose? Christine watches from the gallery, silent but burning. This is cosmic justice. For years, she watched Kody twist reality, smiling for cameras, lying for contracts, hiding money behind fake family unity. And now, the truth is finally on record. But Kody, the master manipulator, isn't giving up without a fight. His lawyers scramble, throwing motions like smoke bombs. They argue over technicalities, claiming TLC payments weren't income, but appearance fees. The judge, unimpressed, cuts through every objection. Then the hammer drops. A full forensic audit, not just of Kody and Robyn's accounts, but every family business, MLMs, book deals, cameos, appearance fees, even side hustles. Nothing is off limits. Every wire, every check, every secret wife-to-wife transfer. It's all laid bare under oath. The accountants find patterns. Withdrawals just under reportable limits, mysterious consulting payments, transfers between LLCs. To the public, it's confusing. To the court, it's a scheme. And now the focus shifts again, to Robyn. Her composure cracks. Her lawyers insist she was naive, just trusting Kody. But the prosecution brings receipts, emails, texts, Robyn debating how to hide assets, how to protect the property. The implication hits hard. She wasn't just a victim. She was in it. Then comes the question that seals the room shut. Meri, when was the last time you updated the deed? Her voice trembles, but it's steady. I never signed my rights away. Not once. The courtroom freezes. That single statement kills Kody and Robyn's only hope. Without Meri's consent, they can't sell, refinance, or hide the mansion. Kody's lawyers try to spin it, say she's being vindictive. But then Meri's attorney reads a series of texts from Kody himself. Do it for the family. Don't let the government take the house. What emerges isn't revenge. It's pressure, manipulation. A woman pushed past her limits. The prosecution tightens the net. Each new document exposes another inconsistency, financials that don't match the show's storyline, tax forms that contradict public statements, and transfers made days before court deadlines. Outside, the world watches. Social media explodes, Reddit threads, news channels, YouTube streams. Everyone wants to know, was this greed? Or just the price of pretending on TV? And as the final gavel slams, the judge lays it bare. If the defendants cannot produce the funds, the court will authorize seizure of all assets. Cars, jewelry, businesses, even the Flagstaff mansion. But thanks to Meri's deed, the process is a maze. Robyn breaks down, sobbing uncontrollably. Kody's face burns red, his hands shaking with rage. The mighty image they built on television now lies shattered at their feet. And as cameras capture their fall from grace, one truth remains. Reality TV can edit feelings, but it can't edit the law. Because in this courtroom, the truth always plays uncut. Always plays uncut. This is the nuclear moment. The courtroom has stopped pretending this is just another hearing. It's a public unmasking. Every dollar, every cent, every shadow company the Browns ever formed is now under forensic light. The audit cuts deeper than anyone expected. Years of quiet wire transfers, unregistered LLCs, side payments for appearances, and hush money consulting deals, all laid bare for the world to see. Online, chaos erupts. Fans dissect screenshots of the filings. Wait, one Reddit thread reads, they claimed they were broke, but what's this wire transfer to Brown Legacy Holdings, LLC? Another fan posts side-by-side clips. A crying Robyn on TLC pleading poverty, matched against a document showing her wiring funds to a private account. The contradictions become the meme of the week. Broke on TV, banking in private. The family's credibility, once fragile, is obliterated. And in the center of the wreckage stands Meri Brown. Her attorney leans in quietly, whispering the kind of words that change everything. Because of your signature, you may have the power to force a sale, or claim a portion of the mansion's value if it goes to auction. Meri doesn't flinch. Her eyes stay forward, her hands trembling just enough to betray her calm. I don't want revenge, she murmurs to those beside her. I just want what's fair. I just want the truth out. For longtime viewers, for anyone who's seen her pushed out, dismissed, rewritten, this is justice. This is the moment she reclaims her voice. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn spiral. Behind the scenes, their calls are frantic. Friends, cousins, old business partners. Anyone who can loan them cash or cover their debts. Rumors surface they're selling jewelry, even heirlooms. But $3 million isn't a number you fix with pawnshop money, and time is running out. And as the cracks widen, the other wives stay silent. Janelle, distant, unreachable. Christine, vindicated, watching, waiting. The woman who once walked away now stands vindicated by truth. Cameras capture Kody pacing outside the courthouse, phone glued to his ear, muttering to himself. The once proud patriarch looks hollow. That clip goes viral within hours. Cody Brown, the man who claimed to have all the answers, can't answer anything now. Inside, the judge calls for order. If the $3 million isn't paid, foreclosure begins. The Flagstaff mansion will go to auction. Every asset on the table. And then silence. Meri steps forward, signs a document reaffirming her claim on the property. The courtroom murmurs. The deed is her shield and her weapon. The gavel slams. And the tension is electric, like static before a storm. Because what Meri does next will decide the entire family's fate. The air feels heavier as she takes the witness stand. The room hushes. Even the reporters lower their pens. Meri's fingers shake as she swears in, but her gaze is steady. For years, she's been the quiet one. The one on the edge of every family photo. Today, she is the center. The prosecution starts gently. Questions about the move to Flagstaff, about family unity, about promises that this new home would heal old wounds. Meri answers softly, her words careful, deliberate. But then the tone shifts. The deed, the document. The signature that Cody wanted. Meri inhales deeply. He told me it was just paperwork. To make things easier, he said it was for the good of the family. But I wasn't sure. Something inside me didn't feel right. The judge leans forward. The courtroom holds its breath. Why didn't you sign? The prosecution presses. Her voice cracks. Because after all these years of being the outsider, I wanted something that was mine. I didn't want to give away everything. In that single sentence, she becomes more than a reality TV figure. She becomes every person who's ever fought for a piece of themselves. Cody's lawyer stands. Objection. She's being selfish. The judge slams the gavel. Overruled. She's stating her rights. And the silence that follows is deafening. The prosecution reveals text messages. Cody's pleas in black and white. Please, Meri, don't let us down. Do it for the family. The courtroom gasps. Even the judge pauses, eyes narrowing at the tone of manipulation dripping from the screen. When asked if she was ever threatened, Meri shakes her head. No threats. Just pressure. So much pressure. I just wanted to hold on to something that was mine. The words linger, hanging like smoke. And for the first time, Cody's face cracks, his jaw trembling, his stare fixed on the floor. Robyn sobs openly. The echo of her crying fills the chamber. The prosecution explains what Meri's refusal truly meant. Without her consent, the Flagstaff mansion could never be sold, refinanced, or leveraged. Her choice froze everything. Was that your goal, Mrs. Brown? The judge asks. Meri shakes her head. No, I just didn't want to be erased. Reporters in the gallery wipe away tears. Even the court officers look shaken. Outside, hashtags explode. Justice for Meri. Sister Wives Trial. The truth unedited. And just when the emotion peaks, Cody himself is called to the stand. He rises slowly, wearing that forced grin he's perfected over years of TV confessionals. Your Honor, I think this has all been exaggerated. Reality TV twists things. The judge cuts him off. We're not on television, Mr. Brown. The prosecution fires question after question. Why the transfers? Why the fake LLCs? Why the unreported income? Each answer is a stumble, each excuse thinner than the last. Finally, the judge asks directly, why did you pressure Meri to sign away her stake? Cody hesitates. I thought it would be better for the family. Better for you, the judge corrects. The silence that follows could swallow the room. Outside, the internet explodes. TikToks, breakdowns, rewinds of old episodes where Cody bragged about control. Now those clips are evidence. And as the day ends, one truth rings louder than the gavel. For years, the show told a story about unity. But the real story, written in bank records and broken hearts, is about power. And now that power belongs to Meri Brown? And now that power belongs to Meri Brown? The courtroom fell into a silence so heavy, you could hear the air shift. Every eye turned toward Meri as she walked toward the stand, the woman who for years had smiled through betrayal, swallowed pain, and pretended that everything in the Brown family was picture perfect. But today there was no mask left. Her face told the story of decades, of loyalty abused, of love turned into leverage. The judge adjusted his glasses, waiting. The lawyers froze mid-note. Even Cody's smug composure cracked for the first time. He shifted uneasily, his hand brushing his tie as if he could tighten control over something that was already slipping away. And Robyn, oh Robyn, her eyes darted, her lips trembling, silently praying that Meri would hold back. But she didn't. When Meri spoke, her voice trembled. not from fear, but from release. I kept quiet because I thought silence was strength. I thought loyalty meant obedience, but all it did was make me disappear. The courtroom gasped. You could feel the years of repression unraveling, thread by thread, as Meri laid bare everything they'd all been afraid to face. For years, we believed the sister wives were one, united, harmonious, spiritual. But as Meri spoke, that illusion shattered like glass. The unity had been a script, a fragile performance built on Cody's control and Robyn's manipulation. And now, under oath, Meri exposed the truth behind that carefully staged empire. She talked about the contracts, the hidden money trails, and the promises that were never meant to be kept. Every word was a dagger of truth, slicing through the fantasy TLC had sold to the world. Janelle and Christine sat in the gallery, their eyes wet, their faces a mixture of grief and vindication. And Cody? He didn't blink. Because blinking would mean admitting defeat. His empire, his show, his pride, his power was crumbling in real time. The same hands that built his family brand were now tied behind his back by his own actions. As Meri's testimony echoed through the courtroom, it became clear. This wasn't just a legal reckoning. It was spiritual, emotional, generational. The Brown legacy was dying right there, in front of the world, live on record. By the time she stepped down, the illusion was gone. What remained was truth, raw, painful, undeniable truth. And for the first time, Meri didn't look broken. She looked free. So what happens next? Can Cody still rebuild an empire built on lies, or is this the final chapter of the Sister Wives dynasty? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and trust me, the ending will shock you.